Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Hello, everybody. Welcome into another edition of From the Rough. It's America's favorite golf podcast right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim from sunny 80-degree Christmas Eve, Dallas, Texas. And PGA of America member Johnny Gerber is live from, I don't know, is it 80-degree sunny Columbus, Ohio?
It feels like 80 degrees for Columbus, Ohio. It is, I will say, it is 56 degrees in Columbus, Ohio on
Holy
Christmas
crap.
Eve. That is pretty close to a record. And we are in the beautiful FanStream Sports Studio in Columbus, Ohio. We do have it. I'm going to look at the thermostat. It is close to 80 degrees in here because, you know, I like it warm. So, no, it's uncannily warm. It's going to be warm here for the next 3 or 4 days. Luckily, I brought the good weather from the south. And, no, it's great. It's still gray, and I haven't seen the sun yet, and then there's no leaves, and the grass is brown, but it is warm. It is warm, buddy.
Seems insane to me for Columbus, Ohio to be pushing 60 degrees on Christmas Eve.
It's weird. I still see bunches of snow on the side. They had a little snowstorm last week. So sorry, I'm eating pretzels. I got a little.
Yeah, you know, the number one rule of broadcasting is you don't eat on the air.
That's fine. Well, I'm fine with that. I won't do that. But if they say I can't drink, I'm out.
No, we got the audio of your big chug of drink right as we were coming on the air here because I had your mic hot and I didn't know you were drinking, so I had to pull it down real quick. So everybody got a good earful of your ice in your cup.
Well, you get used to it because it's not going to stop.
That used to be a staple of the show when we did it live at the bar with Chris Bussell on the air with us.
Yeah,
as he didn't know how to take a drink out of his drink without making the ice noises. And we had headphones, you know, so I didn't have to pull anybody's volume down. But
how do you do that? I don't know how to do that either.
It was you're just very careful with your drink, and normally you're not drinking out of plastic because plastic makes noise. Look, I can do it right here. Watch this.
I heard it. Well, there's no ice in your cup.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ice in your cup.
There's ice.
Well, you can't blame Bus because Bus doesn't drink. So that's a
Bus doesn't drink. He gulps.
He's the only person in the world.
Gin.
You know my theory. I don't trust people that don't drink, but he's the only person in the world that doesn't drink that I trust.
He's the only person in the world I know that drinks gin, other than my 62-year-old sister-in-law.
Yeah, and every time, you know why he doesn't drink though. You know why he doesn't drink? Because every time he drinks, he has a kid.
Well, did he stop drinking? Because last time I saw him, he was gulping like a mofo.
Where? When did you see him?
Last time when you were in Dallas, before he ever moved to Kansas City.
Yeah, that's the last time he had a kid, so he quit drinking. Yeah. He doesn't want to have any more babies.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what caused me to have babies, the 17 that I'm aware of.
That's not. You're just a Jasper.
I don't know if I'm a Jasper.
Yeah.
Jerome. But it is From the Rough golf time. We've haven't with the off season here. We haven't been on regularly, boys and girls. But it is New Year or Christmas Eve. Merry Christmas to everybody. Happy holidays. Happy Hanukkah. Whatever it is that you do. Happy Boxing Day. Whatever the holiday is, we wish you the best.
Kwanzaa, whatever it is.
Yeah, the best one that you can possibly have wherever you are. And we appreciate everybody tuning in here to From the Rough. And again, special shout out to our sponsors, Orion Golf, Turf Life, Golf Central Magazine, and of course, Tom's Town Distilling Company there in Kansas City, Missouri. As I'm partaking of some of that wonderful Tom's Town vodka right now.
The best. It is the
celebrating
best.
Christmas Eve alone in my house, and it's couldn't be quieter, and I couldn't be happier.
That sounds perfect.
As it's just me, my alcohol cabinet, and Reese Witherspoon, and Legally Blonde on the TV. That's my Christmas Eve and my New Year's Eve tradition here in the house.
Sounds perfect to me. That sounds perfect as gets.
Every New Year's Eve, Eli and I watch, and then Parker watch Legally Blonde. That's our Christmas tradition.
I mean, strange movie to pick, but okay. I mean, if it works and it fits, and the boys get excited seeing a 16-year-old Reese Witherspoon. I'm okay with it.
16.
Well, she looks
way
16.
older than that.
She looks 16.
That's the last time she looked good. Look, I'm not a Reese Witherspoon fan at all. I've never have been.
Listen,
but I love the heck out of that movie, and that's the only time I thought she ever looked good.
She is the Ralph Macchio of women when it comes to movies.
I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Ralph Macchio was 47 years old when he did Karate Kid.
He wasn't. He just looks
he's 47.
He wasn't. He was like the youngest one on that cast in The Outsiders.
Yeah,
he was 12.
No, he was still 26.
No.
Yes, he was.
I think you're wrong.
Benjamin
Ralph Macchio
Button.
now is only like 35.
He looks 35, but he's 60. 60.
I think he's younger than me.
No, sir. Well, no. He's 60 years old. Look it up. He's 60
Ralph
years old.
Ralph Macchio is 64 years old right now.
See? And he looks
How
like
old are you? You're 64.
This is good.
You can go to 10 years older than me, isn't he? Wow.
You can go to hell, and this is going to be a quick show if you keep throwing those darts.
You know what? You want to know an admission here?
That you like Ralph Macchio?
Never seen The Karate Kid. And you know what else? I never will.
Well, everybody enjoy their Christmas. Thank you. Maybe that should be a new tradition. You should watch Karate Kid.
No interest in watching the stupid Karate Kid.
It was awesome. Come on.
Did you also like part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 6, and then they did the
Cobra
Kai.
Did
the new one with Jackie Chan and Will Smith's idiot kid. And
that was trash. But Cobra Kai was good.
What is Cobra Kai?
Yeah,
wasn't that a TV? Was that about Karate Kid?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, I didn't know that. That was like a TV show, right? I didn't know that was related to Karate Kid. I have no idea.
This is either going to be the greatest show or worst show I've ever.
I have zero interest in the Karate Kid.
Why? That is. Movie. I think they did it. What 1984? So you
84 is when it came out. I was 14 years old.
You were 26, and it was just awesome.
What you're saying is he should have been called the Karate Man, not the Karate Kid.
You're the only person in the world that I know, and I know a lot of people that's never seen Karate Kid.
Well, that's fine. I will continue to be the only person that has never seen Karate Kid, because I have zero interest.
Coming from a guy,
know something else? I'll give you another hot sports opinion. My cousin Vinny sucked ass. It was not a good movie. It was never a good movie. The only redeeming attribute of that movie was Marissa Tomei.
I'm not disagreeing with that part, but coming from the guy that has chosen to watch Legally Blonde on Christmas.
It's so great. I didn't choose it. My kids did.
Which is arguably one of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life.
Absolutely it is. I agree with that.
And you can't figure out a way to watch Karate Kid.
Well, I don't want to watch Karate Kid. There's no redeeming qualities of Karate Kid.
There's a lot.
Other than Arnold from Happy Days.
Does it bring Arnold from Happy Days?
Yeah, Pat Morita.
Oh, that's right. He was. See?
So that's the only thing I know about it. There's Arnold from Happy Days is in it.
Would it bring up like bad memories that you got beat up in high school or something? No. Like, okay.
I've come to terms with getting beat up. Well, not in high school. I got beat up in elementary school a lot, but by the time I was in high school, I was doing the ass kicking.
Well, it just builds character.
Yeah.
It just builds character.
I learned how to punch back by middle school.
See, if you would have watched Karate Kid in '84, you would have got out of that 12-year-old scenario.
No. And doing that stupid pose where he's got his arms up in the air.
It's called the crane technique.
And he's like on one foot, whatever the heck that is.
It's called the crane technique.
When he gave literally the guy that he's trying to attack about a 45-minute head start on what he was about to do, and somehow he still couldn't get away from it. What was that all about?
Crane technique.
Talk about unrealistic.
No, 1984. It's extremely realistic.
Oh, because karate was different in 1984.
Yeah, 100%. Everything evolves, right? Everything evolves, and it gets better.
It's got to be one of the dumbest premises I've ever seen in my life.
And it comes, and then you go to Karate Kid 2, where he goes to Japan, and because Arnold's father died. Arnold from Happy Days.
Mm-hmm.
His father died, and he thought he was cock of the walk, and then he goes over to Japan, and he gets trout dunked because the old teaching of Arnold from Happy Days, Pat Morita, tutelage is like way better over there, right? So he just started, and he just gets beat up.
At this point, I'm not even sure Japan's a real country. Like, is that even a real place? Are we sure that we actually bombed places in World War II, or did we?
Did you hear that
make
ice?
up, like,
Did you hear the ice? Because when you
I
start
did.
making those comments, I'm going to do ice. It's going to be the ice shuffle.
The ice shuffle.
Yeah.
But we are not here to argue the credibility of the nuclear bombs in Japan or the viability and realism of the Karate Kid or the age of Ralph Macchio. We are here to talk golf and all that implies, and we are in the off season a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff going on.
A lot.
Where Johnny wants to break down you wanted to break down the up and comers for 2026, some players to watch. I want to talk about some guys that absolutely sucked balls in 2025 that could be on the looking for a rebound in 2026, and there's some big names on that list.
Yeah.
And one of those big names that we'll talk about is one Brooksy Baby Koepka. As he and look, I'm going to do some digging into this for a future show because I want to know exactly how this went down because somebody's going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you. Because
we are finding out, or we are hearing that this was a, quote, mutually parting, end quote, of the ways. And I dispute that 1,000% that this was not mutual. But for PR sake, they're both going to come out and say that. But I will find out what exactly happened, who kicked who out, or why somebody wanted to leave.
I'm going to tell you.
I have my theories. I'll let you tell me, and then it might be the same as what my theory is.
Well, I want to hear your theories first,
all
and
right,
then I'll tell you what the lowdown is.
All right. Well, we'll get into that towards the end of the show about Brooksy, the possibility of him coming back to the PGA Tour, and the PGA Tour is sort of preemptively addressing this, kind of very mysteriously, with a public statement about Brooks Koepka,
and
that really doesn't say anything. But it says a lot at the same time. So we'll get into some of that as well. But, Johnny, let's, as we get ready to roll into 2026, the 2026 PGA Tour season, why don't you kind of give us your guys to watch who you think is going to make a splash and why, and maybe even from a betting standpoint, because our show is based a lot on that aspect of the game and of sports. And some guys that we're going to have to keep an eye on that we might see on some of your cards in 2026.
Yeah, you want to go through the guys that I think you're going to bounce back first, or you want to see some? You want to think about?
We can do bounce back first if you want.
Yeah,
do that? Okay.
Yeah, let's do bounce back.
We'll
it's
do bounce
a little
back
fresh
first.
in my head. It's a little fresh in my. Go ahead and jump on yours. Who you're thinking, and I'll rebut or I'll say, hey, yeah, pretty good pick. Give me your top 5 guys you think is going to have a bounce back.
Yeah, and
year.
And
when I say bounce back, let's put it in the frame of guys that you think that didn't have a great year to their standards.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, and that's really what a bounce back is, right?
Yeah. Not to listen, the guy lost his card or blah, blah, blah. The standards of what you've been expecting from them for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, because this is kind of a part of golf that a lot of fans don't like to talk about, but everyone touches on. And look, staying at the top of your profession is hard at any level, but especially for golf, it's almost impossible once you get there or once you approach it. And there's a reason why we talk about guys like Scottie Scheffler and Rory McIlroy like they're operating in a different universe. Scotty's been world number 1 longer than anyone since Tiger. Rory hasn't fallen outside of the world's top 20 for more than a decade, and that's not normal.
No,
those guys are superhuman beings that are accomplishing something out of the ordinary right now, and that's not sustainable for most golfers. And it shouldn't look that easy because it's not that easy for a lot of these guys. So when it does look that easy for a few guys, the rest of the sport has to sort of absorb the fallout a little bit because if someone's dominating, that means someone else is slipping.
Yep.
So what I'm talking about with guys that might have a bounce back year are guys that maybe were close to the top of the game or were approaching the top of the game and then had, like you said, by their standards, a subpar season for whatever reason. It doesn't have to be just performance. It could have been injuries, whatever that caused that. And guys that we're looking for that could possibly remind us in 2026, number one, how bad they really were in 2025, but then again, how how they're on the right trajectory now in their version of their ebb and flow for their career, they could be back up near the top in 2026, if that makes any sense. So
great soliloquy. Great explanation.
I tried. I tried really hard. So the first guy I want to talk about is a guy who I think his talent hasn't left, but he was just dealing with a massive confidence issue in 2025. So let's start with Wyndham Clark. He started 2025 as the world number 7. He ended 2025 as the world number 41. And by anybody's standards, that is a free fall of epic proportions in the rankings. And the way I feel about Wyndham Clark is I don't think he forgot how to play golf, but the numbers of his game kind of tell a different story. His iron play dipped to be the worst since 2022 for him, and his driving and putting regressed to pre-2022 levels for him. And to me, it all pointed at timing and rhythm and confidence. And the only thing that saved his season last year from being an epic failure was a short game. Because without that, we'd be talking about a far uglier season for him in 2025. He had 2 top 5 finishes in 25 starts, and that's not what you expect from Wyndham Clark. And that's not the resume of someone who's completely washed. But the key here for 2026 is apparently a new swing coach as he tries to recalibrate his game. And I think he's a guy that can find his rhythm and bounce back in 2026.
Yeah, you look at it, 2020, 2024 U.S. Open champion at LA Country Club. You look at a guy like that, you wouldn't think he had a great stretch for about 15, 16 months. You look at his golf swing and you wonder how he can miss it. Wyndham Clark historically has struggled with confidence. And, that might sound weird to the general population who watches golf, that the PGA Tour players struggle with confidence, especially, a year earlier, you're winning a U.S. Open, you're top 5 in the world, you're playing every opportunity you're playing. The weird part is, how do you go? I want to say this correct. How do you go from winning the U.S. Open and tearing up a locker room at Oakmont the following year in the U.S. Open in a 12-month span? Like, man,
something's wrong. Yeah.
That's not confidence. That's some personal things that you're going through in your life that is not allowing you to perform on a golf course. For you to do those things and get that upset, there's something in the backstory of him. This isn't a golf issue for Wyndham Clark. It's a personal issue with Wyndham Clark. You just don't do those types of things in a historic place like Oakmont, tearing up the locker room, getting banned, having all these headlines from a U.S. Open champion that won the year before. So I'm not sure if it's uncharacteristic of him, because I don't really know Wyndham that well, even covering the tour, being on site. I know he's a different guy, going from, kind of, shuffling around some, family issues. I mean, that's historically, people can go on and check what has happened with his family issues and things like that at Oklahoma State, and then going to Oregon, things like that. So listen, I don't know if Wyndham Clark is a bounce back guy. He's shown some signs of light, like in the fall, he's played better. I think I don't think it's a course thing. If he can figure out the things off the golf course in his personal life, Wyndham Clark could have a better year than 2025. He's not the type of guy that I like to root for when it comes to that, just because there's certain things as a golf professional, even in the PGA, even a PGA carrying the torch for PGA Tour, there's just certain things that you do not do and that are unacceptable. And it's going to take a long time to get back to what he did was unreprehensible. I didn't
reprehensible.
That too. All 3 of those things. But he's not going to get an invite or play in the member guest at Oakmont anytime soon.
No.
So
he's probably okay with that too, by the way.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of the, like it or not, like Oakmont or not, it's one of the historic places in the realm of golf. You just don't do what you did.
Well, maybe they shouldn't make it so hard for guys then. I'm all for hard golf, but let's be realistic and let's not just try to make it a joke, because they made Oakmont a joke. And I'm not excusing what he did, But that tournament was an absolute joke. It was a joke for golf.
Listen, it happens one time a year, and the bottom line is this: if you think it's too difficult, you do not have to play. They're not forcing you to play golf at Oakmont.
Right.
You can choose not to. You can say, this is too hard. I do not want to play. So everyone had to deal with the same conditions. It's just how he wasn't mentally tough in his personal life to deal with those types of things. It's real simple.
And he might not ever be.
Maybe not.
My next guy on my bounce back list might be the hardest player on this list to evaluate, honestly. I'm a fan, slightly. Local kid, Johnny, here from Dallas. I'm talking about Jordan Spieth. He had better numbers in 2025, but he had much of the same frustrations. Since winning the Open in 2017, which has been 8 years now, he's won twice. 2 wins in the last 8 years. And that number doesn't compute when you say 3-time major champion. There's something wrong. So we know the wrist injury explains some of it. He had the hand herpes with Scotty Scheffler prior. It's been a year ago now, I think, because it was Thanksgiving. So that had something to do with it. The offseason surgery supposedly gave him some physical relief. And this is kind of where I'm frustrated with it. In 2025, Jordan Spieth gained strokes in all 4 major categories, which on paper is progress, but in reality, it felt like garbage time stats. He was never in contention. He was never hunting wins. All he was doing was hanging around. And hanging around. For Spieth, that's not enough. And if he's going to bounce back in 2026, he's got to start with his irons.
You don't know that movie either.
No, I don't. So he's always been a separator. After we're done with Spieth, I want to know what that was. But when he's elite, man, he's just carving up courses. His approach shots are as good as anybody. He looks like Scotty Scheffler out there when he's playing elite. But the question for Jordan is, and I say that he may have a bounce back year. I'm not sure he'll ever have a bounce back year. He may just be done.
Well, he's not done. Let's go. He is my number 1 bounce back player for 22.
I hope you're right.
For 2026, and here's where I'll tell you why. So everyone on the PGA Tour, especially right now, is when they go to the situation that they have their family and their life gets adjusted and having the kids and getting structured. Jordan Spieth is in that law. Jack Nicklaus went through it too. Listen, Tiger Woods, not saying he went through it, but
he went through it for other reasons.
For other reasons, right? The PGA Tour players, their ball striking, tee to green, irons into the green, certainly through the course of years that you play is going to leave you. I've had a testament, and I've said this a lot, that Jordan.
By the way, Karate Kid just came on my TV, so it's something's Karma. Netflix or somebody's listening to us right now.
Karma. So I always said that Jordan needs just a different voice. He's had Cameron McCormick since he was 12 years old. I love Cameron McCormick. I think he's a great instructor. Sometimes you just need a different voice. He's not getting rid of his caddy. Here's where I'm going to tell you. Ball striking players, it comes and goes. He struggled with his ball. But guys who have elite short games and elite chipping and putting, they stay. That doesn't leave them. Their ball striking does. Jordan Spieth just needs to get a little bit tighter, a little bit more discipline, get back to being Jordan Spieth, right, and he's going to have a great year. And I think this is it. I think his family life is structured well. His kids are, going through that. You got to realize Jordan Spieth's still young. Was he 28? Is he 28, 30? I mean, I don't really know. I mean, he's not 64 like Ralph Macchio, but he's
32.
Okay, still.
He's old. It's past his prime.
He's not. It's not past his prime. He's not past his prime. Hold on. Sorry.
That hand herpes, I think, was worse for him than most people think.
I think just, what's that Allstate commercial? Life comes at you fast, right? Or whatever that is. Jordan Spieth's not going anywhere. Jordan Spieth is going to get back to being Jordan Spieth, and it's not going to surprise me if he wins a major in 2026.
All right, Jordan Spieth. So there's our first couple of bounce back players for 2026. We're up against a break. Let's take a break here, and then we will come back. We will give you the rest of the list for our bounce back players. And then we will also get into some Brooks Koepka talk right here on From the Rough. Special thanks for Orion Golf, Tomstown, Turf Life, and of course, Golf Central Magazine right here on FanStream Sports. I'm Tim. That's Johnny. Back after this.
Hi, golfers. IndyCarTim here. I want to talk to you a little bit about Golf Central Magazine. It's not just a golf magazine. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Head over to golfcentralmag.com and check out the latest issue. Some of the regular features in Golf Central Magazine: the Golf Bachelorette of the Month, the Golf Bachelor of the Month, the Golf Cart Girl of the Month, Golf History, Grip It and Sip It. So head over to golfcentralmag.com. It's free. It's the magazine for everything: turf, travel, philanthropy, and lifestyle. Golf Central Magazine at golfcentralmag.com. We'll see you there.
Hey folks, let me tell you about Bay Area Modern Medical Center, a very different kind of approach to primary care. Personalized preventative medicine, not a one-pill-fits-all mentality. Christopher Lugo and his experienced medical staff are proactive in looking at issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Rather than the impersonal, rushed approach, you will be the only patient and will have our full attention. That's new. Getting old is inevitable, but feeling and looking old is avoidable. Bay Area Modern Medical Centers are experts in anti-aging regenerative medicine that optimizes your body's performance in many areas. So call for an appointment to get started on a journey back to full health and a happy life with a new, modern way of healthcare. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. That's 844-977-3477 or BAMMC.com.
Today's show is brought to you by Tomstown, a premier craft distillery based in Kansas City, Missouri. Discover their award-winning lineup, including double oaked bourbon, botanical gin, and double grain vodka, named the best craft vodka by the readers of USA Today. Available for online delivery in 40 states. Visit toms-town.com or their Kansas City distillery to explore more. Elevate your game with Tomstown, where history meets innovation. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hello, folks. Let's talk a little bit about turf life. What is turf life? It's pretty much if your life involves turf in any way, shape, or form, you live the turf life. Go ahead and brand yourself with the turf life. Maybe a back window decal, maybe a hat. You know where you can get those kinds of things to showcase that your life revolves around sports and or anything that involves sports. If it's a sports business or sports education or just your enjoyment of the outdoors, head over to turflifeclub.com. Become a turf head. Join the club today. You can do that by going to that said website that I just told you to go to. You can snag your window decal like I was talking about, or any of your other turf life accessories. Show everybody that you live the turf life, and we'll see you there over there at that turflifeclub.com.
Although it may seem tempting to go without health care insurance, the financial risk far outweighs the gain you may experience. For example, did you know if you simply broke your leg, it could cost you nearly $7,500? Put on top of that a hospital stay, you could be looking at $10,000 to $15,000. Ensuring that you don't go uncovered is so important, as according to CNBC, high medical bills are the highest contributing factor to why Americans end up taking money out of their retirement savings, or worse, find themselves filing bankruptcy. So go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. Now, depending on your income, you can get plans for zero premium. Our experts will guide you through the process effortlessly. They will shop many plans and find the one that's right for you. I called and I have full health coverage through Florida Blue for zero monthly premium. It's a free call. So why go uncovered? It's a huge risk. Go to don'tgouncovered.com or call 800-669-1505. That's 800-669-1505.
Orion Golf Management Solutions. Orion Management Solutions has tailored its service packages just like it tailors its approach to customers. Some owners need more supervision, while others need periodic assessment of their short-term and long-term strategies and programs. Orion can be called in to develop a business plan with the existing staff, or we can assist with the daily management of a facility or event. Either way, we make sure the client is satisfied and understands the direction the facility needs to go in order to achieve the owner's goals. Orion Management Solutions can help with owner assistance service solutions, daily course management, business plan development, monthly operations, or as-needed consulting services. Whatever your need, Orion Golf Management Solutions can help. Check out oriongolf.com.
Let's go.
right now. Back to the show on FanStream Sports.
Welcome back to From the Rough right here on FanStream Sports. I'm IndyCarTim. That's PGA of America member John Gerber. As we are breaking down the top candidates for a breakout season in 2026 on the PGA Tour. Coming up, a little bit of Brooks Koepka talk. Is he coming back? Is he going away again? Was he ever really here? Does anybody care? Is there a guy who has alienated more of a fan base in his professional career than Brooks Koepka? We'll talk about all of that. Brooks Koepka. All right, Johnny, let's before we resume our 2026 breakout talk, you got to tell me what the movie reference was. Maybe I have seen it and I just didn't understand what you were saying.
Hanging around.
I don't know what that is.
All the listeners, Rounders.
Oh yeah, I've never seen Rounders.
Of course you have not.
The hell is Rounders?
Oh God. Oh, just
Rounders. Oh, man, Rounders. Oh, you know why I've never seen that?
Because Matt Damon's in it.
Because it's got two of the actors that are on my list. If they're in a movie, I'm not. If one of them is in a movie, I'm not watching it.
Well,
and it's got two of them.
And coming from the guy that thinks Denzel Washington is the worst actor in Hollywood,
he's one of them. Yeah, no, you're right. He is. He's one of them.
The comments.
Denzel Washington is not a good actor, and by any reference of good acting, he does nothing. He's the same character in every single movie he ever plays, and it's bad. It's a bad character. And he's bad at playing it.
The Academy Association begs to differ, but it's okay.
Does anybody care what the Academy Association thinks? Does anybody put stock in Academy Awards anymore?
LA does, I guess, apparently.
If you want to live that life that LA lives, then that's on you. You go be part of that community.
How was what's that? Born in LA? No, what's that movie? I'm not an LA fan, and you got me singing now. So what are you doing to me?
I think whatever you're drinking is what's got you singing.
No, I'm not drinking. I got nothing in this red soda cup besides Gatorade. Trust me.
Because every time you drink stuff, you got to go pee every 8 minutes, and we don't have 8-minute breaks. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. We got to take breaks in the middle of segments now.
You let me know when you're done.
Do you need another red cup? You can just pee at the table.
That would be frowned upon.
By who?
Probably the people that do not want to see me adjust myself.
Well, I can take you off the picture.
Well, yeah, you'd love that because it's your show. You would just love that. More Tim.
It's not my show.
Let's get more Tim.
If it was my show, I'd be doing more shows by myself.
With Denzel.
That will never happen. I mean, yeah, if he wants to come on the show and talk golf, he can come on. Maybe he's a good golfer. I don't know. He's got to be a better golfer than he is an actor.
What's your big discrepancy with Matt Damon and the Hulk?
Well, first of all, he's not the Hulk.
Well, he played the Hulk.
Yeah, and then he got fired from the Hulk because he sucks.
Well, he made one movie,
Ed Norton.
He's the Hulk.
No, Mark Ruffalo, who's also a horrible actor, is the Hulk right now, not Ed Norton. No, Ed Norton's a horrible actor, and he's been in one good movie.
Who, Matt Damon or Ed Norton?
Ed Norton's been in one good movie.
Primal Fear?
Fight Club.
Primal Fear was pretty good.
Never heard of it. And he got carried by Brad Pitt the whole time.
American History X was pretty good.
Never heard of it.
You got to do me a favor. Turn around in your swivel chair.
I'm wired.
Give me the dimensions of that little cubicle that you've got where you're at right now.
I'm not in a cubicle.
Okay, because whatever box you're in right now you got to get out of it. You got to get out of it.
I can't. I don't have any money to go anywhere.
Well, break through the door and actually. I know you got cable at your house because I pay for it. So we got,
I got Star Wars on right now. I had to turn off Karate Kid because I could feel the room getting dumber.
Your goal after arguably watching the worst movie in the history of movies with Reese Witherspoon or whatever. Yeah.
Yes, he's
Please
bad.
watch Rounders.
I'm not watching Rounders. It's about what, poker? Isn't that a poker movie?
It is well, kind of.
Yeah. All right, now I'm out.
I consider it a lifestyle movie, to be honest with you.
I'd rather watch Diner.
And Karate Kid.
That's a lifestyle movie.
Diner?
Yeah.
What is that?
That's a lifestyle. Oh, you don't know what Diner is? Oh my God.
Who's in Diner?
I've never seen Diner.
Who's in it? Is it 1920?
1982.
Black and
Kevin
white
Bacon,
movie.
Mickey Rourke, Steve Guttenberg, Paul Reiser, Tim Daly, Daniel Stern.
Coming from the guy that
is
still
one of
watches
the greatest movies of all time.
Gunsmoke.
Can't believe you've never seen Diner.
Gunsmoke.
I like Gunsmoke.
I know you do. Of course you do, Nancy.
Me and Nancy watch Gunsmoke when I come up to Columbus next time.
She's watching that now.
Probably is. So back to our list before we start fighting over actors. And by the way, Legally Blonde is not the only movie I watch over Christmas. My other
Legally Blonde
Christmas movie that I watch, no, that's trash.
The first one was so good, but the second one's trash.
Yeah. I mean, Denzel Washington could have starred in the second one. That's how trash it is.
Oh, boy.
But of course, It's a Wonderful Life is my annual movie, but I watch that by myself because I usually cry at the end and I don't like people to see me cry. And my kids don't like to see me cry, so they don't watch it with me anymore. So I always watch, because Channel 5 here, the NBC affiliate here in Dallas, usually they own the rights to it for Christmas time. So they'll usually run in like a loop for about 48 hours of It's a Wonderful Life. And I'll probably watch 10 or 12 hours of it.
10 or 12 hours.
Watch it on the loop. Yeah, I love that movie. Then when it comes time to watch TV with the kids, then we got to go to Legally Blonde. It's just our tradition.
It's just so weird.
It's greatness.
I know exactly where you live. I know exactly where you live. Trust me. I know your address.
So.
I picked you up a million. There's more shit to do where you live than watch goddamn Wonderful Life for 12 hours.
There's really not.
Yes, there is. I've been there.
Everything's closed on Christmas Day.
No, it's not. People.
Yes.
I can Google right now 5 places that's going to be open literally two minutes from you.
Okay, Circle K gas station down the street is not where I want to go hang out on Christmas.
Buffalo Wild Wings is open.
They're not open on Christmas.
I just don't go there.
Bars are not open on Christmas. Restaurants are not. Grocery stores, none of those are open
Every
on
bar in
Christmas.
Columbus, Ohio is open on Christmas.
Not in Dallas. Fly me to Columbus. Well, don't fly me because I don't fly. But I'll drive to Columbus then.
Yeah, coming from the guy that's probably
getting
not
Zach's
get
new
in.
car that gets about 90 miles per gallon.
All right, that's perfect.
Because it's a roller skate.
Oh, is it?
It's the tiniest car I've ever seen in my life. It's a Honda Fit or something. Oh my God, it's the smallest car I've ever seen.
How does he get in that thing? He's a big kid.
He's got plenty of room for him, I guess. I don't know. He's like 6'3", and he doesn't have any issues, but it's smaller than the Mercedes I'm in.
Oh, I know.
And that's saying something.
Yeah.
You know who else is smaller than the Mercedes I'm in, Johnny? That would be Rickie Fowler.
Nicely done.
And he's pretty good transition. Huh?
Nicely done.
And that's and look, he deserves a little bit of credit because he didn't have the worst season by his new standards now, because Rickie Fowler really has never been, maybe with the exception of a year or two, like at the top of his game. He has other priorities. We all know this. He's got, sponsor invites to places that he has no business playing in. And he's got distractions other than golf. And I get it. He wants to be a motocross racer still. I get it. He can go ride motorcycles. But I think he's going to have a good year in 2026. I think it'll be a slow start, but I think overall, Rickie Fowler may be on our list of guys for a bounce back by their definition. I'm not saying he's going to have 10 top 10s or anything like that, but compared to his previous few years, I think he's going to have a little bit of a comeback in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, after winning 2 years ago at the Rocket Mortgage, obviously everybody thought Rickie's back. The game of golf is better when Rickie Fowler is better, which is great. Same with Jordan Spieth. There's a handful of guys out there. The game is better when they're playing well. Rickie fits that category. How do you, not just you, but people in general, how do you dictate coming back? He had a solid year. Rickie Fowler is never going to be short of getting spots on the PGA Tour. He's going to get plenty of exemptions. He's going to have plenty of opportunities. But Rickie Fowler is a guy, you hit it perfect. He's the guy that is golf priority for him. Yes. Is it number one priority? I don't know. He's ultra talented, and he's going to be that guy that's going to win once every couple years, be in the middle of the pack. Changing of the top 125 to 100 might be a little bit different. Yeah. He might have to play some alternative events to get there. So the talent really has never left Rickie. It's just a matter of I don't have that. I don't have the high expectations of Rickie Fowler like you do. I just don't. I think he's a middle of the road player. I think he's always going to be that way. I think he's a fan favorite, and I think he splits his time between. He's the richest guy on the PGA Tour off the golf course. The golf course. I don't know if people understand that or not. I didn't make it up. That's fact. Okay, so where does your motivation come from? Yeah, he's ultra talented, but he's going to be the guy that finishes 75 to 100 for the next 10 years as long as Rickie Fowler wants to play golf.
Right.
It's just what he is.
Yeah, and I think Rickie's talent level is near the top.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got talent just as much as Jordan Spieth. I think he's up there with, or could be up there with Scotty as far as just raw ability in his body. But he's not as driven as some of these guys to be as successful as some of these guys because he doesn't have to be.
Right.
He doesn't need it. That's not his goal. And to his credit, he plays the game and makes his money, and he stays relevant, in the game every year. I don't know that he's ever just irrelevant. He falls out of relevancy, but especially, for his fans, he always gives them a little glimmer of hope that he's going to be up there high on the leaderboard every now and then. But, to his credit, he plays the game the way he wants to. He uses it for what he needs to use it for. It's a means to an ends for him. And
it's an avenue. It's an
avenue. And so, you know what? Good for him.
Yep.
And that's all we need. Now, though, we get a little uncomfortable in the conversation because another one of my favorites, Johnny, is on this list. And Tony Finau is now 36 years old. And I think the window on him is closing rapidly.
It's closed.
2025, if it's not already closed. 2025 raised a lot of red flags for him. The putter did not cooperate again. But the biggest concern for him might be his driver. For the first time in his career, he lost strokes off the tee for the season. And that's pretty scary for a guy whose entire game has been built on power and control. And his game is slipping. His ability, now that he's kind of getting up there in age, is slipping. His 8'11" frame's not doing him any favors anymore. That's going to start breaking down. You get up in your upper 30s and you're that tall of a guy, the joints don't always cooperate as much, especially as much as he's abused them in his entire life, playing golf. So the results for him of all of that was one top 10 finish in 21 starts. And that's just unacceptable for a guy who's expected to be a regular winner on the tour. And to your point, have we seen Tony Finau already play his best golf of his career?
I'll start this way. I'm a Tony Finau fan.
Mm-hmm.
If there's anyone that's playing the PGA Tour right now or is playing professional golf that could benefit from going to LIV, it would be Tony Finau.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Tony Finau, and I hate saying it. I hate the people Tony Finau is not going to win a major.
No.
Tony Finau can figure out a way to feed his 100 kids like you have. I mean, I don't know. If anyone, I hate to see him go because I like Tony. I'm a Tony fan. If you know anything about golf, I followed Tony for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone can benefit from going to LIV, and I know there's offers out there for Tony Finau, it would be Tony Finau. And don't be surprised if he goes. And I would not be upset if he, on a personal level, I would not be upset at Tony Finau if he does go. It's a business move, right? Again, Tony Finau's not going to win a major. I don't think he contends in a major. I think he has an opportunity to make a lot of money for his family, continue to make a lot of money for his family if he goes to go play LIV.
All of those points are good points. I don't think he would leave for LIV. I think he's content with where he is now. I don't know. And I don't know that the money that he would get from LIV, because they're not going to offer him top dollar. He's not a name.
They're going to they're going to give him $50 million
over 5 years. Not $50 million a year. They're going to give him.
No.
He can make $10 million a year playing on the PGA Tour.
No, he can't. Tony Finau's never made $50 million playing on the. So you
can
make
$10 million a year.
He's never made $10 million a year.
He can.
No, he can't.
Or 5, whatever the number is. He's content making it on the PGA Tour playing with
his body of work, and his body as Tony Finau is not ascending anymore. He's descending on the PGA Tour, right? So when you're a descending product, you have very few opportunities left.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
Do I think Tony Finau's rah-rah loves the PGA Tour? I'm not so sure. He loves his family more. And if you can provide more for your family on guaranteed money, playing 5 years, $50 million, playing, potentially he fits that category. I don't know if he's gonna struggle to get in the majors still, right? Tony Finau's even playing the PGA Tour, right?
Yeah.
So play LIV, play Europe. He's not scared to travel. Get that $10 million a year guaranteed. If anyone, like I said, I hate condoning LIV. If anyone would be in the category of going to LIV, I would sign off on Tony.
And I don't think there's any way they would offer him near $50 million over a 5-year period.
I do.
I just look, I just. You say you wouldn't be mad at it. I probably would. It would take a lot of the respect I have for him away.
There's more guys leaving LIV. There's more guys leaving LIV. They need they're going to need a couple middle tier stars. Sure, I say, and I hate to say Tony Finau is a middle tier star, but it's just what he is.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna be focusing on some of those guys, and I don't know if LIV's going to be around for 5 years.
Yeah.
But if you can get that payday and play in 10 events, I wouldn't blame Tony Finau.
I mean, he said last year, right around this time in December, that he wanted nothing to do with LIV Golf.
Well, they didn't offer him enough.
Well, and again, I just don't think that the money he would make, what they would offer over there, would be worth his while. If it is, it's fine. He's clearly on the decline of his career. And for me, all he really needs to do is bide his time for the next 13, 14 years till he can join the Champions Tour. Then I think he'll be completely happy on the Champions Tour.
Well, I'm not so sure that's going to happen either, right? I mean, you don't know what's going to happen with the Champions Tour. They're already making adjustments, and you can't make that money. And Tony's a big guy; his body's breaking down. When you go at it that hard as a big guy swinging the golf club, your body breaks down a lot easier.
Yeah.
Is he going to be fit enough, or does he really want to play the Champions Tour?
Yeah.
Man, that's
a
long,
I just don't know why you would,
long way away. And if you can bankroll $50 million for the next 5 years and not worry about playing golf, or you just want to be with your family more, who knows? Tony Finau can make $1 million a year not playing golf and doing clinics. Right.
Yeah.
I mean, so he's not going to never be
probably more. Yeah.
Yeah. He's never going to be he's never going to not have that ability to make money into playing golf. But if you can get that, I don't want to say grab bag, but he would fit the category for me to go.
Yeah. And again, I don't think they offer him anywhere near that if that was on the card for them. But if they offered him 50 over 5, then whatever. Then obviously
hard not to go.
Take the money and run. I won't be a fan anymore. I'm sure he can deal with that all the way to the bank.
Yeah.
Sahith Theegala. He kind of gets the benefit of context here because of the neck injury, and this is another reason why guys shouldn't go play TGL. He hurt his neck. He blew his neck out playing TGL golf, Johnny. He tried to come back before he was healthy, and he's been inconsistent since. He's got all the skill in the world. He's way too skilled to be a one-win guy. He's too creative. He's too fearless. If he starts 2026 healthy and hungry, and think about it, if he racks up like an early win in the season, it could open the door for him, and the floodgates could come open in wins and in performance. So I think he's one of these guys that's too, and we talked about Tommy Fleetwood forever. He's too good and too talented to not have ever won on the PGA Tour. And look how long it took him, right? Well, Theegala's already got the one. So I just think at some point the floodgates open for this guy, and I hope it comes early in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, injuries are tough. I think he just got married, right? With last year with same kind of scenario with Akshay Bhatia. They kind of they fit the same mold to me. Ultra talented guys, hit it far, getting settled in their tour life. It surprised me he hasn't won more, but again, he's ultra talented. He lives by how well he drives the golf ball. And when he drives it long and wrong, it's a tough combination for a guy like Theegala, because his short game and his chipping and putting is kind of the polar opposite of Jordan Spieth. Can't rely on that as well as some of those guys. But yeah, I mean, injuries are going to plague Theegala for his career. How he adapts to that and is able to play well, that's going to be the challenge for him.
Then finally, our last two guys here on my list, Johnny, of guys that could possibly break out. Max Homa and Will Zalatoris. And these are two very guys that are on the list for very two different reasons. Max Homa has had to change everything about his golf game. He's changed his clubs, his swing, his grip, his coaches, and that can be a very risky proposition. But for him, I feel it was very necessary because he was in a ditch he was not pulling out of. And despite all of that, he still showed a few flashes. He still contended at the PGA Championship. He had a strong fall before an ankle injury shut him down. He's got Mark Blackburn back in the picture, and I feel like he's on pace with all of those changes to find a little consistency. He can be his old self that I can cheer for every week again and put him on my card every week again. And with Will Zalatoris, I think the biggest question for him is, can his body hold up? That's where he's struggling. Can he stay healthy? And for him, nothing else matters.
Two polar opposite reasons why they potentially could come back. Zalatoris, body broken down, but certainly strong mentally. Max Homa, soft mentally, tried to make changes by choice as opposed to Zalatoris making changes by necessity because of his body, right? Yeah. How healthy will Zalatoris get is, he's went through this before. He tried to come back, came back too early, had to shut it down again. So is the rest enough for him? I have, depending on these next probably month, to see where he's at and see how he speaks in terms of his body. If Will Zalatoris is healthy, he will have a big year. Max Homa, you need that's your guy.
It's my guy.
He doesn't need a swing coach. He needs a mental coach. Mm-hmm. So, you're looking at two different guys that have two different reasons why they would be successful. I'm cheering for both of them, especially Max. He's a little quirky and corny for me, but super talented. And, he did kind of the cardinal sin what a lot of these PGA Tour players do. They go into it and have success and don't think what they have is going to be good enough for them to continue. So, they're two different scales of types of players, but I'm rooting for both of them.
I am too. That all said, Johnny, why don't you throw at us some of your guys to look out for 2026 that we can maybe place some wagers on and get a good feel for in the upcoming season. Yeah,
if you're looking at some guys to kind of root for at the beginning of the year, maybe some of the rookies that some guys maybe not heard of, we're going to pinpoint one guy, Christo Lamprecht. Christo Lamprecht is a guy that's played at Georgia Tech. He is 6'8", 230 pounds. He will be the longest player on the PGA Tour, overtaking his fellow countryman, South African kid, Aldrich Potgieter. He will be the longest player on the PGA Tour. He was the British amateur champion, kind of fits that mold of, really good players. All-American, obviously. At
South African, right?
Yeah, South African. Yeah. Did I say that?
Yeah, well, I was trying to remember where you said the same as Aldrich Potgieter. I was trying to figure out where he was from. I can remember. Yeah.
He's going to have a presence on the PGA Tour that people that the kind of casual fan doesn't really know. Mm-hmm. Walking down the fairway, he's bigger, he's stronger, he's fitter than probably anybody on the PGA Tour. So when you look at that and a guy that's going to be able to dominate golf courses, the PGA Tour fits him, and it's weird to say, way better than the Korn Ferry Tour fits him. A lot of these guys,
he's already got a win on the Corn Ferry Tour, right?
Yeah, he won to get his rookie to get fully exempt. So he played Corn Ferry last year. Like I said, he's got plenty of PGA Tour starts. I think he's probably got 20 starts on the PGA Tour just from his amateur career, Monday qualifying, playing a couple U.S. Opens, obviously played. So he's seasoned enough at 25 years old to be able to handle. He's just not coming in, eyes wide open. Like he gets what it is, and the dominance he's able to create from tee to green, from tee to fairway, and to be able to dominate golf courses as far as he hits it. You're going to see some stats on the PGA Tour that you've never seen before from a guy that can not only hit it far, but can actually really play. In opposing a guy walking down the fairways at 6'8", 230, the crowds are going to flock to him.
Right.
They just are. And you'll see him on our card a lot, especially at the beginning of the year. Look at maybe kind of pinpointing him at a place, maybe not so much Sony, because it's not really structured for a guy that hits it that far. There's a lot of dogleg. It's a little quirky golf course, but maybe getting into California and you're playing the American Express where you can hit it forever. He's going to be hitting low irons in the par fives. It's a little bit more of a lax scenario playing in a pro-am format. So look at a guy that potentially, he can make a million birdies, especially with his length. So we're going to look at him, Christoph Lamprecht, at the beginning of the year and see where he goes. But I'm looking forward to see how he does as a full-time member of the PGA Tour.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me a little bit of our buddy Ludwig Oberg as far as his international competition at a very young age. Lamprecht won the World Junior Golf World Cup with South Africa in 2019. He also played in 2017. He's played on a couple of Junior Presidents Cups. So as far as the competitive international golf goes, he's got a little bit of experience, and you're right, that could certainly translate over onto his PGA Tour time.
Yep. Length, there's no substitute for length on the tour. Mm-hmm. There is Corn Ferry, they kind of, you can, I'll say that correctly. If you're a longer hitter on the PGA Tour than the Corn Ferry Tour, it bodes well for you better on the PGA Tour. Just saying.
Yeah. Obviously that'll do you well. That'll do you well when you
anywhere, but it's more structured for the PGA Tour.
So let's get into a little bit of Brooks Koepka before we shut things down here on Christmas Eve, Johnny. Of course, Brooks announced that he was leaving LIV Golf. Yes, we all applaud that move, Brooks. So, I have a couple of questions on this. My questions are why now? Is it just a matter of his contract? Is it a matter of, and he's voiced his unhappiness on LIV Golf for a while now. This is not new that he didn't necessarily like being there, but I'm sure he liked cashing the checks every week, right? I'm sure he didn't have a problem with that. But my question, and you said you know more about it, and I'm sure everyone knows more about it than me. As far as motivation, if it truly was amicable, my thoughts on why he might decide to leave is he's tired of being irrelevant. I think he misses being in the spotlight, and no one on LIV Golf is in the spotlight. And Brooks is a egotistical maniac, and he likes to be in the spotlight. He likes to hear his name, and he hasn't had that since he's been at LIV Golf. He sucked in the majors last year. He did not have an up. He didn't win at all last year, even on LIV.
Missed 3 cuts, finished 19th in the Open, or 9th in the Open. Sorry.
Yeah, didn't have a great year playing golf. So the statement from the PGA Tour was this, quote, Brooks Koepka is a highly accomplished professional, and we wish him and his family continued success. The PGA Tour continues to offer the best professional golfers the most competitive, challenging, and lucrative environment in which to pursue greatness, end quote. That was the entire statement. So this is curious because why would the PGA Tour release a statement about Brooks Koepka leaving LIV? Like, it has nothing to do with the PGA Tour. They didn't openly, address, is he coming to the PGA Tour? Is he not? Would you welcome him back? Obviously, if he wants to come back, there's going to be suspensions involved. There's going to be all sorts of things that he's going to have to deal with unless he can come to some agreement with the tour, aside from all of that. He's the highest profile name that would have come back from LIV Golf, without question.
Bryson. Bryson's probably a little bit more, but I get.
Well, Bryson's not back on the tour though.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying that if he leaves LIV to come back,
yeah.
So far he'll be the highest profile name that will have come back from LIV Golf, right? So yeah, if Bryson comes back, then he'll probably trump him. But as it is now, it's him. So what are your thoughts? What are you hearing on what, number one, why he left, and number two, is he coming back to the tour?
Okay, let's rewind a little bit. When Koepka signed with LIV, probably a pretty good move on his part. And here's why I tell you this: at that time, Bryson was hurt.
Right.
He had no idea if he was ever going to play golf again, especially at a level of being a PGA Tour winner. He didn't know. He was in flux. He was hurt, going through surgery, struggling, didn't know. When you get that offer and them telling you, hey, listen, you can come here for XYZ, 100 million or 120, whatever that number was. All these contracts are completely different in how you sub it out. And, some of these guys, you get 100 million, that's your threshold. And whatever you win, it's deducted from what they pay you.
Right.
It's just what it is. So every contract's a little bit different depending on who you are, which is kind of strange. And, it's whatever. As a business move, if I was Brooks Koepka, I would have probably taken that too. But having something in my contract saying, listen, what's the exit? Every one of these guys has an exit strategy or an exit clause for them. If they're not, they're stupid. And these guys,
right.
They're not stupid when it comes to, except for Phil. He sells himself to the devil, and it's just what it is. So as a move, getting $100 million, not knowing if you're going to play golf again, especially at the level of the PGA Tour, I thought it was genius of Brooks Koepka. And if you know me, I'm not a Brooks Koepka fan. And for me to say Brooks Koepka and genius in the same sentence, that will probably never happen again. Right? It just won't.
Sure.
Okay. So let's move a little bit forward. And this is where I think the PGA Tour is going to get stuck in a pickle. There's more guys coming. There's more guys going to be coming. I think Jon Rahm's the next guy that's coming. Bryson, who knows what Bryson's going to do. Okay. So you can make this a hot take or not. I haven't confirmed this. This is what I think. This is my opinion only. And it holds a lot of ground. The PGA Tour is struggling with sponsorships. They are. They're losing tournaments. They're losing sponsors. They're struggling to get sponsors.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they're struggling to get sponsors? Because some of these events don't have the big names. They want the big names.
Yeah.
So let's make it a little bit singular. You're looking at a tournament like Cognizant last year. They used to be the old Honda. Honda was for years. They left. Home of Brooks Koepka. It's where he lives, West Palm Beach.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scenario that's probably going to happen, and it's probably going to happen with other of these PGA Tour guys. That's where they live. Jon Rahm, I'll look at, and we'll talk about in a second. If Cognizant, a new sponsor, goes to the PGA Tour and says, "Hey, listen, we want Brooks Koepka to play in our tournament, and we're not going to continue our sponsorship," what do you think the tour does? They're going to move. These guys are going to start moving in that direction. Brooks Koepka is already exempt for the majors. He can play the majors. Right. But some of these other events, to help them boost ratings, sponsorships, getting more people. The Cognizant in West Palm Beach at PGA National was one of the least attended events in 2025 on the PGA Tour. How do you think that would be better if Brooks Koepka was there? A million times. So you look at a sponsor, like some of these sponsors even going forward. Okay, John Deere, maybe there's a clause in there say, hey man, Koepka, you got to play John Deere. You got to play some of these events to come back. No one knows what the penalty is going to be. Right. Is it to give the money back? Is there a penalty? That will be the PGA Tour's board to decide. But I will tell you this, there's no one's going to know besides the PGA. They're not going to release what the penalties are for these guys to come back, but they're coming. I'm telling you, they're coming. The high names are coming, and the PGA Tour wants them to come because they know they can't say it out. Hey, we want these guys. They can't say it out loud. They can't. But some of these sponsors are going to push. I mean, Phoenix, Waste Management, they make plenty of money, but they can certainly, as much leverage as they have, say, listen, if Jon Rahm doesn't play in our tournament, we're going to cut our sponsorship. That's the leverage these sponsors are going to do. And that's one of the things that's going to get these guys to come back and be able to play the events. Listen, these guys want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me. There's 20, 15 guys that want to come back. They do. Miko Pereira, that just retired, that might have been in his clause to retire, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to retire and I'm going to come back in 2 years and try to play the PGA Tour again. Who knows? Listen, the behind closed doors, the closet talks, the closet contracts. I don't know. Most 99% of the people in the know do not know. But there's going to be pushes and leverages made for these guys, especially Brooks Koepka not playing, to say, hey, listen, man, I want Brooks Koepka to play in my tournament as a sponsor's exemption. Why not? And then the PGA Tour says, well, he's not a PGA Tour member. Well, okay, we give 1 million sponsors exemptions to non-PGA Tour members anyways. Why are you telling me I can't get somebody in my tournament that I want that's going to boost my exposure and get more people here to get value on my money than why I'm giving you $5 million? That's happening. I'm just telling you that's
and
how
it makes sense.
That's how it's going to transpire. It is. So you're going to see more of that. What is the penalty? I don't know if the penalty is giving money back. I don't think that's happened. No professional athlete likes to get money back. They're not doing that. They're not giving money back. Is it, hey, we're going to suspend you for a year? Well, that doesn't bode well for the tour. It bodes well for the PGA Tour to have Brooks Koepka play a tournament, Jon Rahm to play a tournament. So that makes no sense. Right. So what makes sense? I don't know. I think they're trying to figure it out, but I'm just going to tell you the pressure of these sponsors saying, hey, I want to give a sponsor's exemption now in the hometown of Brooks Koepka to bring people to make this event great. Why are you telling me I can't do it? When I can give a sponsor's exemption to non-PGA Tour members anyways. Like there's going to be that battle a little bit, and it's going to happen a lot. Jon Rahm. And like I said, maybe that's the agreement. Jon Rahm plays John Deere, or he plays Rocket Mortgage, right? Events they would never play. Like they would never play. Or they wouldn't play second tier events because they're usually during the majors, and they would kind of, whatever that is, there's going to be some sort of, middle ground. But the sponsors, I'm just telling you, the sponsors they're losing sponsors on the PGA Tour. You're seeing events that are dropping out that's been around forever, and different sponsors, because they don't see the value. I mean, who wants to sponsor an event that's got Sam Stevens and, no offense against these guys, Sam Stevens, but you get my point. They want the big hitters. They want the star-studded guys. And to be honest with you, hey man, all these damn tournaments are better when these superstars are in it anyways. Like, what are you doing? Like, you can hit somebody's, you can be the teacher and, hit the student's wrist all day long with a ruler. But man, that shit gets old. And you only learn so much when it comes to that. I mean, look how good the majors was this year with all these guys playing. It was compelling. Yeah. It was compelling. And listen, all these guys on the PGA Tour can play, especially when now it's going down to 100 players, exempt players. Man, listen, fans want to come out and see the superstars. You're getting guys that's coming off the PGA Tour qualifying school. Can you tell me 5 guys off the top of your head? I'm looking, you're a golf fan. You would give me 5 guys off the top of your head that you would go watch to play a golf tournament.
Like just because they're there?
Yeah. Like, okay, Byron Nelson's fits that mold to a T. Attendance is trash. It's going down. They don't get the players to come there to play. They don't. And the players that are coming down, they're playing the event. No, listen, I'm not dogging those players. They're great players. But would the Byron Nelson be better if Jon Rahm and Brooks Koepka played?
I might boycott it just because Jon Rahm was playing.
I didn't ask you that. That wasn't the question. I didn't ask you to boycott.
Yes, it would draw more fans if guys like Brooks, Ian, and John.
There you go. There, just
and it would also attract more competition because other golfers would want to come play because they were going to be there.
Absolutely. So you see my point. I think that's going to get to the point where, listen, don't be surprised if Brooks Koepka is healthy. He is. He never embraced LIV, just like Jon Rahm. They didn't. Bryson does. The reason why you see he didn't embrace LIV is you see Brooks Koepka when he played in the majors. He didn't wear any LIV shit.
Nope.
He wore all Nike stuff.
Yep.
Right. So listen, don't be surprised if he plays cognizant, because they're going to push. They're going to push. Say, listen, I'm going to give a sponsor's exemption to Brooks Koepka. If you don't let him play, we're not going to sponsor the event anymore. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, and I'm okay with that, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
That's an investment for these companies, and I think they, right or not, they're going to dictate ways to promote that investment, right? And it's up to the tour to decide if they want to conform to that, or if they're going to say, look, this is our tour. These are our tour players. This is who's playing. Take it or leave it.
The tour doesn't dictate sponsor exemptions. That's the
Right.
sponsor.
Yeah.
That is the sponsor. They don't have to be a PGA Tour member.
Yep.
So I'm just telling you, they're in the mix of saying we're going to give Brooks Koepka a sponsor's exemption to play in it as a non-PGA Tour member. The PGA Tour, if they say, well, you can't play. Okay, why? Well, he's not a PGA Tour member. So
that doesn't mean anything anymore. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So that's my take on it. Listen, bottom line for me is, you know how I feel about Brooks, lineage of Brooks, taught him in junior golf in South Florida. The PGA Tour is better when Bryson's on tour, John Rahm's on tour, Joaquin Neiman's on tour, Brooks Koepka's on tour. The PGA Tour is better when they're playing golf.
Sure.
Just what I think.
Maybe we'll finally get rid of all of these fair weather casual golf fans that say, I never heard of that guy who won before. Well, because you watch 3 tournaments a year. No wonder you don't know who they are.
Yeah. How good is the Masters? Even it's just the Masters, but when you see all these guys together, even fake ass Phil, I mean, the Masters is still good when Phil's playing, just because it's just what it is. It's just what it is. And don't be
because
surprised.
you get the fans that are there to see Phil, and that makes it better for everybody there, and it makes it good for good TV, right? With the fan interaction and all that BS. That's fake, by the way, but it is what it is.
Who's to say, hey man, Rocket Mortgage wants to give John Rahm an exemption to play, non-PGA Tour member, never played there before, and the PGA Tour tells him no.
Right.
Well, Rocket Mortgage can say, man, listen, when you ask me to write you a check for $5 million, I'm going to tell you no.
Yeah.
Just how it looks.
Yeah. So that story certainly is far from over. It will continue to develop with Brooks Koepka, and we'll of course keep you updated right here on From the Rough. And look, golf does not hand out guarantees ever. A player's decline is not typically permanent, but at the same time, resurgence of a player is not automatic. And 2026 isn't going to be about just who's the most talented. It's going to be about who adapts, who stays healthy, and who still believes they belong near the top. And that's what makes next season so fascinating, along with the younger guys that are coming in, thinking that they're running things. And it's going to be an amazing season. We will be there every step of the way for you, not just with PGA Tour coverage, but we're going to delve into some Korn Ferry, some LPGA, some DP World Tour stuff. Probably won't talk a lot of LIV Golf, but I'm sure it will be mentioned from time to time as it's in the news, as its decline will spread rapidly throughout the year, I'm sure. I can cross my fingers. But we will be there every step of the way, and starting in 2026, Johnny and I plan on bringing you some of the best and most entertaining golf coverage of any show, whether it's a podcast, radio, satellite, or even some of that stuff. And I love all those guys at the Golf Channel, but they can't be funny like we can, because it's not what they do, Johnny. They can't do what we do, but we can do what they do.
They can't talk Denzel Washington and Ralph Macchio talk. Certainly not.
They definitely cannot, and they cannot give you their opinions on Reese Witherspoon's early career at the turn of the century.
At 40.
But we can do that right here on From the Rough. All right, well, that's going to do it for us. I am Tim. That is Johnny.
Merry Christmas, everybody, or whatever you celebrate this time of year. Happy holidays. Looking forward to talking to you guys starting at the beginning of the year 2026. As Tim said, a lot of more golf coverage. So God bless everyone. Happy holidays, and we will talk to you in 2026.
Until then, you guys keep hitting them straight. We'll see you.